It's been over 2 years since I've done a map tour of Northwest Arkansas. Today we're covering all the changes that you need to be aware of the full Northwest Arkansas map, and maybe ask the question, where do you want to live in Northwest Arkansas? So let's talk about that. Hey everybody, if you don't know who I am, my name is Phillip Shepard. I'm a local real estate agent located right here in Northwest Arkansas. If you weren't aware, I actually was a real estate broker located in the horrible, no good dumpster fire state, also known as Illinois. And I could have moved anywhere I wanted to in America. I could have moved to Asheville, I could have moved to Colorado, I could have moved to Texas, I could have moved to Florida, I could have moved to anywhere. But I chose Northwest Arkansas. It is by far the best place to live in America. If you ever want to talk about why I chose here versus anywhere else in America, let me know. Meet up for coffee, meet up to talk about the whole area. But without further ado, let's jump right into the content. All right, so today we're going to be discussing some of the housing, some of the landscape, some of the new things that are happening around the area. This way you can make a better informed decision of where do you want to move to in Northwest Arkansas. So I'm going to go into great detail about each area, especially when it pertains to moving here and what you're looking for. So I'll cover a lot of those topics for each different city. So if you want to cover, like, I'll have like little things on my YouTube thing, like little markers. So if you want to jump to a certain section of the actual timeline, feel free to do that. But we're going to start at the top at Bella Vista, work our way down all the way down to Fayetteville. So let's jump right into Bella Vista right now. All right, so this is Bella Vista. You might have heard of it. One of my favorite places in Northwest Arkansas. The thing you need to know about Bella Vista is that it is an outdoor haven, outdoor mecca. Hundreds of miles of trail systems all woven between here. We have golf courses galore. We have lakes galore. Some are both wake lakes and non-wake lakes. We have recreation centers. We have pubs. We have some restaurants. Those are getting better. Not a huge amount, but they're getting better. We have a beach over at Lake Ann right over here. Avalon, excuse me. And then we have more golf courses. So it is a great, and a lot of trail systems. We have Tanner Creek Nature Trails. We have, and then we have Blowing Springs over here as well. So let me kind of zoom out a little bit and kind of show you the whole scope of Bella Vista. So over here, it usually ends right around here and comes around here, around this corner. I'm going to talk about this over here in a second. But pretty wide area. Thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of homes exist in Bella Vista. The thing that makes Bella Vista unique is that a lot of homes are very custom, and so a lot of new construction happening, but it is that area where you feel like you're part of paradise. Let me zoom in real quick and kind of show you. Let me just pick any random street in Bella Vista, if we can just go here. So you can see this is kind of in the springtime photo, but there's a lot of trees. And so it gives you that Colorado, Pacific Northwest vibe. So if you really want to feel like you're in the woods, kind of privatized, you're not going to have neighbors almost ever, especially in your backyard, it is going to be a great place to live. Now, some things you need to be aware of Bella Vista. If you're worried about Bentonville schools, usually right around here, and this way is Bentonville School District. All of this area is Bentonville School District, except for this little area over here is mostly Pea Ridge. So this whole area, for the most part, is Bentonville School District. A lot of this is, which is the more preferred school district. A lot of this over here is Gravette School District, for sure. And that's Gravette's over here, so they get picked up by the bus and go over here. It's a fine school district, very small, but it doesn't compare to Bentonville, so just be aware of that. Over here in Bella Vista, much flatter, much flatter. So you'll see a lot of flat homes over here, flat lots. Over here, it gets pretty, I would say, steepy. And also over here, but you start flattening out a little bit more over here. So both the edges of Bella Vista are much flatter, if that makes a difference to you. Now, you will find homes that have flatland over here, but they're just kind of rare. Way more common to find steeper lots around this whole area around here. It's just a lot of this. So the main chunk of Bella Vista is right here. They are developing a downtown section of Bella Vista. The Waltons are here, and we'll talk about that in a second, right around here. So Allen's is right here. They bought all of this land. The Waltons did, plus Allen's, which is a food market, basically organic food market, and then all around here. So they're going to turn this into a downtown section of Bella Vista here pretty shortly, next couple of years or so. The other thing I want to mention, especially when it comes to the Waltons, is they purchased a bunch of land over here to continue on some of the trail systems in Bella Vista, but I'm guessing that they're going to as well as build some homes over there, potentially, but most of it's going to be more outdoor recreation spaces. The other thing you should be aware about Bella Vista, this little side note, is that the Waltons also kind of took control of the architectural committee, meaning it's going to be easier to build in Bella Vista, and so keep that in mind as those things come down the pipeline. Cooper Communities was the original maker of Bella Vista back in the 60s and 70s. They owned all of it, and they passed on the rights to the Waltons literally 2 months ago. So kind of keep that in mind. So Bella Vista, great place to live, sell a lot of homes in Bella Vista. Let's jump over to Pea Ridge real quick before we jump over to Bentonville and Centerton. Pea Ridge, small community, growing. The reason that it's growing quicker than average is because of its connection to Bentonville. So you can get from Pea Ridge to downtown Bentonville maybe 12 minutes. One road makes it super easy, so homes are going well. There's a lot of homes being developed over here. Very flat. Not a lot of restaurants yet. We have Wendy's, at Tires. I'm saying it sounds so bad. At Walmart, not a lot going on there. Will it change in the next couple of years? Probably. A lot more investments going there. They've a lot more multifamily, a lot bigger homes are going there. There's a big Sugar Golf Club down there. Great place to golf. But regardless, Pea Ridge flat, not the prettiest, but a great place to live in, great, more affordable housing. So keep that in mind over here. So what really the big perk of Pea Ridge, honestly, is the closeness to Bentonville. So let's jump down to Bentonville. A lot to say about Bentonville, my gosh. I'm gonna kind of talk about the generics about both Bentonville and Centerton here. I'm gonna combine them, and then we'll talk about some of the changes that are happening. Bentonville, this whole side down here is very flat. Great school district. Up here, I would say way more, a lot of this. A lot more trail systems exist over here. We have Kohler Mountain over here on the kind of the center part of our, it's kind of like the left-hand side of Bentonville, the west side, but kind of wedged between there. The Walmart HQ is going to be right around, where are we at here? 8th Street. Okay, so right around, basically all around here is going to be this huge Walmart HQ. The previous one currently sits around right here, so it's gonna be closer to the HQ. So this whole thing literally is going to be literally the whole HQ. So massive campus. Trail systems will go through here as well. The Razorback Greenway, which is a 40-mile trail system, travels from all the way from Fayetteville through Bentonville, will cut through Walmart HQ and then go up through Crystal Bridges all the way up to Bella Vista. So, and then hundreds of miles of trails exist right here. Crystal Bridge exists right here. I don't want to get into too specific of each different thing, but from a like house standpoint, probably if you want a more affordable housing, it's going to be for Bentonville. It's going to be right around here, if not a little bit starting to get down here as well. The nice thing is that Bentonville has a pretty good map of spread when it comes to space to build. The Bentonville School District is top tier. Centerton is also kind of integrated with Bentonville in so many ways. They have Bentonville School District, so keep that in mind. Centerton, not the prettiest place to live. Great place for housing. Great, easy access from Centerton into Walmart HQ. But for the most part, Centerton is a adjacent city to Bentonville. It's flat. I would hesitate to say it's pretty. Not a lot of downtown section going for Centerton. It really isn't, honestly. It really is truly an adjacent city to Bentonville. So I would consider, if you're gonna spend a lot of your time in Bentonville and you want to, like, don't necessarily go from Centerton to Fayetteville. Stay, if you live and work in Bentonville, or you actually work in Bentonville, you can live in Centerton, not a problem. It's going from Centerton down to Fayetteville becomes a real tricky mess there. And also you're very close to Exney Airport, so if you ever fly a lot, close to Exney, which is the airport just south of Centerton. So for the most part, easy access to Kohler Mountain right up here, great trail system, but for the most part, most buildings happening over here for Centerton, also down here. So keep that in mind if you are gonna be in the Bentonville-Centerton area. Not the prettiest for Centerton, gorgeous areas for Bentonville, but it does get quite pricey around that kind of more centric part of Bentonville. Before we jump on to the next point, I made something for you. I made something called 3-day itineraries. So maybe you're looking to come down to the area, maybe you're looking to vacation, maybe check it out, maybe potentially move here. I made 3-day itineraries, linked below. So maybe you're an adventurer, maybe you're a sports person, maybe you're a foodie, maybe you're a sightseer, maybe you have kids, whatever it is. These are 3-day itineraries, all designed like city by city, day by day, place by place, food by food, delicious. Anyways, all links below. Go ahead and grab them and use them when you get down here. And maybe you are looking to move to the area and using things like Realtor.com, Zillow.com, or Redfin. Way too slow. Notifications, way too slow. That's why I made something called Instant Home Updates. Sounds exactly what it is, literally Instant Home Updates. So enter your information below: name, bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage. Where do you want to move to North Arkansas? Enter all the information below. I'll make sure you don't miss a single notification when it comes for homes for sale or for rent, all in Northwest Arkansas. Also, every single Friday I send an email out just kind of talking about all the cool things happening in Northwest Arkansas. Maybe you're wondering what's going on in downtown Bentonville, maybe what's going on in downtown Rogers, maybe what new bands are coming to the area, what new businesses are moving here. All the things you want to know about Northwest Arkansas, like events, all the crazy things happening here, new investments, etc., etc., etc. Enter your name below, enter your email below. I make sure you get that email every single Friday, but I want you to be aware, I want to become transparent, the fact that you will get a little fear of missing out, just a little FOMO, so to speak, but I promise you will be the most important person eventually when you make your way down to Northwest Arkansas. All right, now let's talk about Rogers. Rogers. So much going. Rogers is a wild time. And what I mean by that is that there's really two different sections of Rogers. I call it the two different downtowns. Let's talk about the bricks first, and then we'll talk about near the other downtown section. The true downtown section of Rogers is actually right around this historical side right here. Bricks, Onyx Coffee, near Lake Atlantic Trail Systems, the rail yard bike, great, a lot of restaurants, a lot of fun things to do, a lot of live music, etc. The problem is getting from 49 to downtown Rogers. Can be a little bit of a drive. Great place to hang out, but if you do live in Rogers, it's better to like live around here and you want to spend time both here and there. Very doable. It is a bit challenging to get from 49 to Rogers. It's the only setback I see with downtown Rogers, but it is so fun. Not to the level of downtown Bentonville, but it's up there. A lot of fun things happen downtown Rogers, a lot of investment happening. So when it comes to Rogers, a lot of times this section over here is more industrial, as you can tell just by the street lines. A lot of downtown here is housing. There's a lot of renovation happening in this section of Rogers, a lot of older homes that are being redone or honestly torn down and being rebuilt. Now let's go over to there's a lot of variation of landscape over here. We're talking wild times. Sometimes people want to buy homes around this section of Rogers, and it's out by Beaver Lake. There's no HOAs or restrictions out there, which sounds great. But you might be driving to past some trailer homes, etc., to get to your home. So keep that in mind. If you want to live out in this section of Rogers, there's some interesting homes out there. Nothing violent or crazy. It's just people want to live their certain lives, and they decide to live in trailers sometimes, and it is what it is. So that's kind of that section of Rogers. But you have to. It's way out there. So keep that in mind. Nothing to be fearful of Rogers. Just know that when you start getting out to the lake, interesting stuff sometimes. Rogers Aquatic Center is kind of smack dab in the middle of Rogers. A fantastic place to bring your kids. Slides, pools, the whole galore. Now let's talk more about Pinnacle Hills Rogers. Very interesting stuff going out there. Billions of dollars have been invested in this section of Rogers because most of the actual vendors for Walmart actually hang out in this Rogers section. They redid all the roads. Whole Foods was going there. Huge, multi-billions of dollars of buildings, of housing, of everything is going to this downtown section of Rogers. Fantastic restaurants. We have Walmart Music Pavilion, houses like 12 to 15,000 people for huge music stuff. Top Golf exists there. Like I said, Whole Foods is going there. Just big things are happening in that section. There's a promenade there for outdoor malls. Great thing. But the reason being is because over here is probably some of the most expensive homes in Northwest Arkansas. You have Pinnacle and Shadow Valley. Private communities, gated communities, everything almost there is over $1 million. Golf course communities, fantastic stuff when it comes to housing over there. Some great housing's happening just south of Rogers, but a lot of the more cool housing that's I would consider more in the affordable side, that you have a decent job, you know, it's going to range from like $500 to $700, which is expensive, don't get me wrong, it's expensive, but that's existing around the Cave Springs southern part, around this new mountain Hebron Park. Biggest park in Arkansas exists right here. I think it's like 50 acres. Huge park, but some great housing's happening over here. Flatter, kind of more agricultural based, not corn and stuff, but just flatter. Pretty, but one of those things where they're building a lot of homes out there to then, for people working in that downtown section of Rogers. A lot of vendors that work for Walmart work here, and then they live around this section. So near that Cave Spring area. Cave Springs is obviously, not obviously, but is part of its own Bentonville school district. Rogers has its own stuff going on as well for school district. Good school district, not amazing, but it definitely hits the marks for what you're looking for. So keep that in mind, but Bentonville is still the pride and joy of the area. But regardless, Rogers, around this downtown section, crazy things happening over there, to say the least. Also, side note, before we move on to Springdale, one of these four corners is going to be the new, it's either here or here, one of the two, is going to be the new soccer stadium. So bring soccer, ASL soccer, is it ASL soccer? ASL soccer to Northwest Arkansas. Huge stadium being built. They're opening in, I believe, they're starting this year, opening in 2025. So it's going to be great for the area to start bringing in more differential sports than necessarily football to the area. So love that. All right, let's jump down to Lowell, Springdale, and Tonitown. I'm going to kind of lump them all together. So Springdale, something to be aware of, very industrial focused. Housing there is very affordable, to keep that in mind. There's really not any, I would consider, not very many multi-million-dollar homes in Springdale, not that you're looking for that. But Springdale is definitely more the guts, the industrial section of Northwest Arkansas. Tyson exists there. A lot of those things kind of industrial happens. Now, downtown Springdale is quite cool. A lot of investment, the river that runs through it, the whole thing. It's near Lake Fayetteville. Where's Emma Street? Here we go. So this whole section, Emma right here, Emma Street is great. The river runs through at Spring Creek, of course. They really redid the downtown section of Springdale. Not to the level of downtown Bentonville or downtown Rogers yet, but just new restaurants. Onyx Coffee is going there. There's like a couple promenade areas when it comes to walk around sections. Great for some shopping. Great area for Springdale. It is probably the most up and coming area with money being developed in there. So keep that on your radar if you're an investor or if you want to kind of buy some homes around there. A lot of things happening in downtown Springdale. Great place to hang out, have some food, have some great live music, etc., etc. So keep that in mind. Downtown Springdale, great, but it is surrounded on this side for the lot industrial. Coming to downtown Springdale can be a little bit of a jaunt. It comes to a lot of industrial, but a lot of housing in this area. Now, Lowell is an attachment to both Rogers as well as Springdale, but a lot of industrial happening there, but there's a lot of money being poured into Lowell, not in a downtown section, more in a housing section. A lot of great land to build there. Let's move over to Tonitown because they're all kind of connected. Is because this highway, this 612, is actually being pushed into this section of Springdale right here. So they're building a new attachment right here to easier access from this section to get into 49. 612 is actually going to be developed into here, so it's going to be a bypass here very shortly. But Lowell, excuse me, Tonitown is growing quite a bit in the last couple of years. This whole area is going to be a lot of housing, both north and south of Tonitown. A lot of businesses are established right here, Chick-fil-A, coffee shops, a lot of more, I would say like franchise businesses are going there, but a great place to live because of this amenities that exist right there. Now, probably the most closest trail system, honestly, is going to be Lake Fayetteville. There is a pretty good mountain right around here. Where is it? Let me pull the trail systems. Where are we at here? Oh, here it is. It is right over here on the north side of Springdale. There's a mountain right here that's just pretty good when it comes to trail systems. And then you have Mount Fitzgerald over here as well when it comes to trail system. But that's on the far east side of Springdale. So more benefits Lowell than anything than Tonitown. There's not a lot of trail systems going to Tonitown. You have to go over to Lake Fayetteville and then kind of south towards Weddington over here. But that's a little bit of a drive for sure. All right, last but certainly not least, let's talk about Fayetteville, Farmington, Prairie Grove, and this whole section right here. Let's talk about from north to south. The north side of Fayetteville is definitely more up, they call it uptown, more uppity, more fun. Movie theaters, shopping, the whole thing. Lake Fayetteville exists there. Great 5-mile pathway around a beautiful lake. Trail systems galore. We have the Razorback Greenway, a course cuts through there. But a lot of fun housing, like we're talking multifamily, condo, townhouse style, exists mostly around here. And a lot of medical. That's where Washington Regional exists around here, one of the biggest hospital in the area. Johnson is a kind of adjacent to Fayetteville. Small town, but a lot of money is being poured into there. Really not a lot of housing because there ain't much land going there, but great. That's where Hail Fellow Well Met, which is an Onyx coffee brand, exists there. So just know, North Fayetteville, great uptown, cool place to hang out. Whole Foods exists there. A lot of fun, cool restaurants. It's not until you get to the center section of Fayetteville, I would consider, that's when you start getting into college town. You're starting into more antique housing and like, historical housing. You have such a mixture of housing in downtown Fayetteville. Like we have Mount Sequoia over here. Like you live on top of a mountain. The variety of Fayetteville housing exists in downtown Fayetteville is wild. It can be expensive, don't get me wrong, but the Fayetteville Library is there, downtown Fayetteville, always popping, always doing stuff. You have the college exists there, University of Arkansas, 60,000 people hang out there at the stadium for football games, sometimes concerts. We have baseball stadiums as you work your way down. So basically, let me kind of map this out real quick. We have, let me go back up here, uptown, around here, center part, so many wild things happen in there, and it's in a good way. College, football, baseball, restaurants, housing, trail systems, Fayetteville Library, downtown Fayetteville, so many things going on there. Then we go south over here. That is the more, we'll call, up-and-coming developed part of Fayetteville. Some both questionable housing and new housing exists there. Then we move over to the east part of Fayetteville, more housing here. And then we move over to the west side. The west side here is kind of flat, but we have Centennial Park, a mountain over here, huge trail systems, and then we have Kessler Mountain, another huge mountain. No, it's not mountains, hills, massive trail system over there. So if you want to when it comes to topography of the area, a little mountainous over here, very mountainous when it comes to Fayetteville because it's literally on a mountain like the whole this. Sequoia Mountain, It's not until you get to the west part is a little flatter, but you move pretty quickly into the mountains when it comes to both Fayetteville as well as Prairie Grove. Very picturesque views around here because the mountains exist right here. And once you start getting down here, West Fork, you are literally driving through mountains, around mountains, the whole thing. So the Boston Mountains exist south of Fayetteville. Great housing over here. You have Battlefield State Park, very affordable housing in Prairie Grove, very affordable housing in Farmington, close to Weddington. So a lot of things are adjacent to Fayetteville. Elkins, interesting area, flat area, picturesque. Not a lot of housing going out there, but it is picturesque. Not a lot of trail systems out there. So just keep that in mind, is that a lot of Fayetteville is known as being a mountain town, a lot of this. So beautiful, picturesque as you drive into Fayetteville. So keep that in mind. But uptown again, very fun area. Downtown, very fun area. South area of Fayetteville, like up and coming housing, but some questionable housing. West Fayetteville, Farmington, Prairie Grove, great stuff over there. So mostly the west side of Fayetteville is great for housing and also access to trail systems. So keep that in mind as you start looking to where you want to move in Northwest Arkansas. All right, that's all I have for you guys today. Again, if you haven't been down to Northwest Arkansas quite yet, I made something called the NWA Starter Pack. It comes with a 100-page guide of everything going on and also upcoming in Northwest Arkansas. So maybe you want to know about Bentonville, maybe you want to know about the school system, maybe you want to know about the hospitals, maybe you want to know about Fayetteville, Rogers, Pea Ridge, whatever the case is, Bella Vista. All the things you want to know about Northwest Arkansas in this package, 100-page guide. It comes with itineraries, it comes with stickers, it comes with little trinkets all about Northwest Arkansas. So enter your information below, name, obviously address, where's this package going to? Enter all the information below and make sure you get that package shipped to you right away. Also, little side note, it does come with your first free mountain bike, so that's pretty cool. And I know what you're thinking, I know what you're thinking. It is my favorite fuller F word. Free! So enter your information below and make sure they get the package shipped to you right away. Also, if you are coming down here, let me know. When we meet up for coffee, I'll give you the $10 tour so I can kind of show you around the whole area. Plus, you can check out some homes for sale or for rent and see how far your dollar would go in Northwest Arkansas compared to where you're coming from. Alright guys, I'll see you next one.